Hello again, everyone. This is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDryDocks.com, and I'm going to be making a video for you guys today talking about how you get started in this crazy hobby. I just realized I have a ton of resources out there, but nothing that definitively says this is what you should do to get started. I want to rectify that with this video, so hey, let's get started. All right, I'm going to try and make this short and sweet. There's three things that I want to talk about today in order for you to get started according to what I think. The first thing, I have put together a comprehensive book called Diving Deep. And while there is a certain degree of self-promotion involved with this, it is also an exceptional resource. I wrote this with the beginner in mind. It's a high-level overview of the RC submarine hobby, and it walks through almost anything that you may have questions on in terms of what the hobby looks like, how you get started, how to run a boat, what to expect when you run a boat. There's a lot of great information in here. It's over 180 pages, fully illustrated, written out, broken into different chapters. I highly recommend it. It's available both in hard copy, which if you purchase, I will also autograph and ship out to you, or in digital format. If you are overseas and the shipping is going to kill you, you can just download the digital version at a little bit more of an economical rate. Highly recommend you get the book. If you reach out to me with basic questions and you have not explored this option, I'm probably going to just point you back at it. All right, so heads up there. Second thing, tremendous resource that we have here at the Dry Docks, and we call it the Dive Tribe. For $49 a year, basically you get access to the Dive Tribe membership benefits, and these include discounts on our products, first look at new product lines as they're coming out, but most importantly, it gives you access to our bi-weekly Dive Tribe gatherings. I mean, these are video meetings that we hold every 2 weeks, typically on a Saturday in the afternoon, and we just talk submarines. Now, there are a lot of exceptionally experienced people who frequent that meeting, but it was really designed for beginners to be able to leverage all of that knowledge and experience that's out there to help them along their journey in building their first RC submarine. What do we do there? We talk RC submarines, we show progress on projects, we highlight victories and solutions that we came up with, we go over challenges and opportunities that we may be having, and again, an opportunity to ask questions about things that you may be confused about, leveraging not only my experience, but the experience of dozens of other people in the hobby from a wide spectrum of experience levels. We have an absolutely great time. We get to know each other really well. Like I said, typically between like a dozen, 15, 18 people on at any given meeting, but hey, it's growing. So for 49 bucks a year, pretty darn awesome value there. You'll learn more in 1 hour at a Dive Tribe meeting than you will for the month's worth of research through Google. Trust me. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about is this conundrum. Do I build my first submarine or do I buy my first submarine? So these other resources that I pointed out can help you on your journey when you start to make those initial decisions. So one of those decisions is, am I going to buy my first RC submarine fully ready to go, put it in the water, operate it, and then learn how submarines work? Or am I going to build my first submarine, go through all of those hurdles and learning curves and challenges, before I have an operational boat? My answer to that really depends 100% on your patience, perseverance, and skill. If you don't have the patience and perseverance to build out your own RC submarine from scratch, I will say perhaps this is not the hobby for you. Now, if you're making the decision to purchase your first submarine because of time constraints, or perhaps even resource constraints in terms of building tools and an operational shop environment, that's a little bit different. Regardless of the path you take, you need to understand you're going to need to invest the time and energy into learning how these things work. They are not like RC boats, they're not like RC planes, they're not like RC cars. These are much more complicated and they require a high degree of understanding on behalf of the owner in order to completely build them, maintain them, and repair them. All right, so even if you think you're going to be skipping all these steps by getting an operational boat out of the box, you are always going to have repairs, upgrades, and maintenance that needs to occur on these boats, which forgoes this buy it, charge it, run it, and put it away mentality that a lot of people have. So, back to what we were talking about. Ideal state, in my opinion, is to get a kit that is partially completed. Let's say perhaps the rear linkages are already in place, and so that tricky part of engineering all of the horns and throws and control surfaces has been addressed for you. And then you're just outfitting the cylinder, installing the cylinder, hooking everything up, trimming and testing. That is probably the ideal scenario, because now you know how everything works, how it all connects, and the fundamentals of trimming out your boat. Next most ideal, I would say, would probably be building from scratch. Now, this requires a much higher degree of investment in terms of time, patience, and willingness to tackle problems. But at the end of the day, you're going to understand all of the fundamental requirements of building and operating a remote controlled submarine. So it's a much larger investment in time and energy up front, but at the end of the day, I would say it probably has a higher degree of long-term enjoyment in the hobby. Too many people have bought fully complete boats from me or from other people on the internet, ran them a couple of times, had them fail for whatever reason. They don't have the ability or willingness to address the issue, to learn what's wrong with it, so it goes onto a shelf and sits for years and years, or they simply sell it for pennies on the dollar because they don't have the capabilities of making it functional once again. So again, I want to reiterate, regardless of the path you take, you must understand exactly how your boat works. The best way to do that is to build it from scratch, understand all the steps and how it goes together. So that is my take on the first steps that you need to look at when you're entering this absolutely amazing hobby of RC submarines. It's not easy, but it is one of the most rewarding hobbies out there. Certainly, you're not going to meet a lot of other RC submariners out there, so you'll be part of an elite group of RC craft owners, and you can put a lot of pride in that. With that, I am going to let you go. Again, my name is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDryDocks.com. If you like these videos, I do urge you to like and subscribe. It helps me a lot, and you'll be kept up to speed on new videos that I release on an ongoing basis. If you have any questions or comments, reach out to me anytime. Bob at NautilusDryDocks.com. I'll do the best I can to get back to you as soon as possible. With that, have a great rest of your day, and hey, catch you next time.